Sweet 16 berths are on the line in Kansas City. 2 invitations will be handed out today. The first will go to either Memphis or Oklahoma State. And Bob Wenzel, the winner, moves on to East Rutherford.
St. Joseph's and Wake will await them. Memphis or Oklahoma State in this one, or Pittsburgh and Wisconsin in the other. 2 of those 4 will be in New Jersey next weekend.
Well, Memphis is coached by John Calipari. 4th year at Memphis. Terrific success, averaging 23 wins a season. His lineup: Arthur Barclay, Sean Banks, fine freshman, and Rodney Carney as 2 guards, Anthony Rice, Antonio Burks. Eddie Sutton is the head coach of Oklahoma State. 28 wins on the year, looking for number 29 this afternoon. Sutton goes with Ivan McFarlin and Joey Graham at the forward. His 3 guards: Lucas, Bobick, and Tony Allen. Good coaching matchup today, Bob. John Calipari, Eddie Sutton.
They have played once before in the tournament in 1995 when Calipari was at UMass, and Sutton, of course, here at Oklahoma State.
Well, Coach Calipari talks about his respect for the Cowboys and Eddie Sutton.
Coach Sutton, it's like going to the dentist coaching against him. I mean, you know, it's just like it's hand-to-hand combat. You know it. They're going to defend and they're going to grind. They're going to set more screens that stand up players that stun them. Boom! What was that? That's how they play.
Should be a fun one today. And this game is being brought to you in HDTV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television.
Let's see if we get some booms on the screens early in this one.
Well, a quick whistle to start. And Bob, Oklahoma State advanced on today by beating Eastern Washington in round 1, 75-56. That score may deceive you a bit. It was 36-all at the half, and Memphis knocked off South Carolina in round 1 to move on, 75-56.
And in that game, Memphis played fabulous defense in the first half. South Carolina only scored 18 points. And, of course, Oklahoma State played great defense in the second half after not playing well in the first half against Eastern Washington.
The foul whistled on Antonio Burks, the senior from Memphis, and Tony Allen sinks both free throws for an early 2-0 Oklahoma State lead.
Both teams will play aggressive man-to-man defense, lots of movement away from the basket, and tremendous athletes in this game.
Carney, who had a huge game on Friday, 26 points, career high against South Carolina, had a good chance to start things off impressively, missed the jam. Long 3 off the mark. Cowboys rebound and a fresh clock.
One of the stories in this game is the 3-point shooting. Memphis frequently, not so with the Cowboys. They like to take it in the side.
Nicely done, McFarlin. The recipient of a fine pass from Tony Allen. And it's a quick 4-0 lead for the Cowboys.
McFarlin had a big game the other night, 20-10 in their victory over Eastern Washington.
Bob, you mentioned the 705 three-point attempts put up by Memphis this season.
And
a
in
turnover.
contrast, Oklahoma State only 389. So very different philosophies of the three-point arc between these two coaches. The keys for Oklahoma State in this game, lots of very, very good things about this team to enjoy. They must defend the three-point shot. They've got to get back against the quick athletes. And the matchup between the 2 point guards, Lucas and Banks, and Antonio Burks, will be very important.
Lucas, the floater.
Advantage, Lucas.
6-0 Oklahoma State, and Calipari, timeout. A quick start by Oklahoma State here in Kansas City. Quick start by Oklahoma State forces Calipari for a quick timeout. Memphis, Bob, their first 2 possessions missed shot and a turnover.
They got to maintain their intensity, and Burks and Banks have to reappear. Banks was only 2 for 10, and they've got to make shots from downtown to be in. And that is the key offensive and defensive tactics in this game. Oklahoma State must defend the three-point arc, and Memphis got to make them from out there.
Follow-away shot, got the bounce, and Memphis after the timeout. Sean Banks, the freshman from Oradell, New Jersey, Conference USA Freshman of the Year, on the board.
He had 25 points a game in the last 6 games of the season, and then came up with 17 against St. Louis in the Conference USA, and then, of course, only 6 points on 2 of 10 shooting in the first game here. Some nerves in the NCAA tournament.
Foul on the floor. It goes against Anthony Rice, so his first second team foul on Memphis. Nice pass inside. Allen stripped away. Rebound, Graham, then slapped, and a whistle.
Oklahoma State is pounding the basketball inside. 3 baskets already in the paint, and then here, athleticism you will see all day long from both squads, but you can see Oklahoma State trying to score in the paint, and of course when you go in there, you get fouled a great deal. Joey Graham, his first NCAA tournament. He was a little nervous the other day, I thought also. Had a subpar game, only 4 points and 2 rebounds against Eastern Washington. And he's got good numbers on the season. Transfer from University of Central Florida.
Along with his twin brother, Stephen Graham, who wears 21. He'll see time on the floor as well. So Graham makes 1 of 2. We played just over 2 minutes. Cowboys of Oklahoma State leading 7-2 over Memphis. Carney to Rice. Banks trying to post up. Pushed off the block. Now squares up. Jumper. A little bit off the side. And Cowboys cover up. Another rebound from McFarlin. Allen had it stripped. Look at the quickness by Banks. Got it.
Wow. That is acceleration. Eddie Sutton displeased with Allen, his star player, on this.
Antonio Burks. Boy, the motor's running hot.
Will my car be ready this afternoon like you promised?
Yes.
We'll use a bunch of lingo I won't understand.
Banks and Burks for Memphis with a couple of buckets.
Well, you can see their season average 34. The other day is against South Carolina, only 13. Not very good, but is that a good sign? They won without them playing well, thanks in large part to Carney, 26.
Lucas to Bobick. Long-range shot. It's a 2.
Oklahoma State looks much better at the beginning of this game than they did the other day against Eastern Washington. Much better offensively, sharp. They came out sluggish against Eastern Washington and had a talking to at halftime, but they are fired up right here.
Well, that game had a lot of national interest at halftime when you saw that score at 36 apiece. Now, 2 seeds have already gone down. Mississippi State earlier today, and Gonzaga went down in Seattle yesterday. Maybe carried it. He did. Turnover Rice.
The defense of Oklahoma State causing frustration for the Tigers right now. They are not getting any clean shots. Oklahoma State pounding it inside. They are an inside-outside philosophy.
3 turnovers for Memphis. Allen lost it as he drove down the lane. 23 on the shot clock. Cowboy basketball.
Tony Allen, player of the year in the Big 12 by the coaches. Lucas was the player of the year, Big 12 by the media. I'm not sure which one to trust.
How about that, though?
Suffice it to say, both of them are pretty darn good.
I think Eddie Sutton says, that's fine, I'll take both. Bobick works it down low. Nice give and go. Left hand wouldn't fall. Here comes Burks across midcourt. Lowers the shoulder, try to push it off the window, and a whistle. Bobick picks up the foul, his first team foul.
A bruised heel has limited the speed of Burks early, but he looks 100% to me today. That's 2 times in a row he's come down in transition and forced good things. Those are his numbers for the previous game.
64% shooter from the line, misses the first. And with the conclusion of today's game, we will select the Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a contribution to these schools' general scholarship fund, a tradition now for 30 years. Missed them both. Allen chases it down to Bobick.
What great hustle.
How about that? Went over Eddie Sutton.
Right over his coach's head. Allen is so strong as a guard here.
Offensive. Graham picks up the foul. His first. There's Eddie Sutton, 14 years with the Cowboys. Big 12 Coach of the Year.
34 years coaching college basketball. Formerly of Arkansas and Kentucky, of course. They like to isolate Banks here, but he is being guarded by very physical players.
Through the double team on the block, kicks it back up top. Burks with 19 on the shot. Banks left alone for the three. Got it.
He would prefer to be out there at 6'8" than inside. Not physically strong, but very, very skilled for a young player.
Memphis making a comeback after that fast start by Oklahoma State. A year ago, hard to believe that Banks is playing high school basketball at Bergen Catholic, averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 blocks. What a player. Timeout in Kansas City. Kemper Arena. The 7 against the 2. Cowboys by 2. Oklahoma State by 2 over Memphis, but Bob, the Tigers surviving a quick start by the Cowboys, opened up a 6-0 lead to start this thing.
Mainly because of that guy right there. Sean Banks has 5 points. He played the other day the entire game and had 6 points total. So he's got off to a great start, and that is good news for Memphis.
Banks and Burks, 3 of 4. And that's the scoring so far for Memphis, shooting 75%. Oklahoma State, 3 of 6 for 50.
And Oklahoma State more well-rounded. Oh my God!
Oh, where did that come from? Joey Graham reaching and popping the rim.
All 5 Oklahoma State players have scored, and that was the most emphatic of all so far.
Big 12 newcomer of the year, as you mentioned, transferring out of Central Florida, averaging 12 points a game, and that's a highlight of spectacular measures.
You got to be kidding me on this. Wow. I'll tell you what, he didn't play well the other night either. Both he and Banks making up for poor performances in the first game very early here.
Cowboys bring it backdoor. Bobick, easy 2, his second bucket. He only took 4 shots against Eastern Washington, and Bobick all of a sudden becoming a factor in this offense for Oklahoma State.
Coordinated effort, passer, screener, and Bobick is the cutter. Beautiful basketball.
Rice looks low block. Banks trying to back in. There's that double team. Forces it up and a whistle.
Oklahoma State is a team that likes to double the post. Right here, Banks has scored well, so they're going to come on him quickly. As soon as he puts it on the floor, double team action. And unfortunately, the reach in by McFarlin allows Banks to get to the line. Those his numbers in the first game, not very good by his standards or anyone's.
The freshman shooting 73%. That foul whistle, by the way, on Ivan McFarlin. First one rims out. Interesting story about Sean Banks. Prior to the tournament, he got a pre-tournament pep talk from Bill Parcells. Of course, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, a good friend of John Calipari. Calipari coaching for the Nets at one time while Parcells was with the Giants. Yeah,
sure. Banks off to a good start. That is great news for Memphis because he was missing in action the other day. And of course, Antonio Burks very much in evidence in this game as well. Very athletic team, Memphis. Experience on the Cowboys side. John Lucas, the transfer from Baylor.
Graham, sweet. Well, he's got the stroke early. 5 points.
First, a dazzling dunk, and then a jumper from the perimeter. Versatility.
Cowboys 6-9 from the floor to start. It's under 14 minutes left in the opening half here in Kansas City. Rice trying to move it in. Now back up to Burks on the wing.
Not many threes so far, which is the calling card of the Tigers.
Burks the follow-away. In-your-face defense by Weatherspoon, who just checked in. Number 25. Lucas drives, hangs, and hits. Boy, the little guy at 5'11", 150. Quickness and another timeout as the Cowboys of Oklahoma State open up a 17-8 lead here in Kansas City. Oklahoma State making their last 4 field goals, opening up a 17-8 lead. Craig Bullerjack, Bob Wenzel, and it's amazing to see this team now, a day and a half removed from playing Eastern Washington. Totally different attack, a totally different approach to this game.
As our colleague Clark Kellogg would say, spurtability. We are seeing it in this. Don't go to the refrigerator. You will miss some action.
There's a steal. Watch out. Allen lost it. I was thinking he was thinking showtime.
No doubt about that.
A little smile on Tony Allen's face.
You watch these guys practice, they really like one another. On and off the court, they joke around. When it's time for business, they take care of business. Fun team to watch.
Bob, it's amazing because it is transfer U. In the 14 years for Eddie Sutton, 17 transfers, 5 on the roster. I'm still amazed. We said it before, how this team has melted together.
And you're talking about Division I transfers, not JC transfers. Very hard to do. Credit Sutton with being an excellent chemist. All his years of experience have blended this group very, very well. And this, in case you don't know your geography, is where they have all come from. From Baylor, from Central Florida twice, from North Texas, and from BYU. Great defense on Oklahoma State. They are up on shooters. They are denying passes, pressure in the basketball. Very effective so far. Keep in mind, they have only lost 3 games all year. To BYU by 5, to Texas Tech in a big loss, and to Missouri in double overtime by 1. These guys are used to winning.
5th turnover for Memphis. Cowboys have committed 3. And that loss to BYU, their only non-conference loss all season. That was back first week of December. Weatherspoon drives. What a shot.
Most of the baskets are coming into the paint. That is not booze, that is spoon that you hear.
Tough shot by Rice, and again, the guys in white right now dominating defensively.
Dominating defensively and also dominating the painted area. Right here, the pump fake and the drive. Little spin off the glass by Spoon. Nice play.
Ivan Lopez whistled for that power move. His first and the 4th team foul.
Well, Lucas on the bench. Weatherspoon comes in for him, and Bobbitt, of course, plays the 2 or the 1.
Good patience as Allen puts it on the floor. Kicks baseline. Oh, it's too easy. Big slam put down by Terrence Crawford.
What a difference in Memphis's defense yesterday and today. Oklahoma State has made their last 6 shots. Only 1 from outside the paint. Dribble penetration and pass penetration. Power.
Burks one-on-one with Weatherspoon. Had it tipped away, saved. Back to Banks, 12 on the shot. Bob, the question by Memphis fans, where's Rodney Carney, who had 26 in an opening round win over South Carolina?
Not getting many touches so far in this one, is he?
Banks with 2 on the shot, airballed it. Carney has not taken a shot for Memphis.
You think maybe Oklahoma State said this guy had 26, we better guard him tightly? He's not even getting to touch the basketball.
Whistle away from the ball. Baseline. And a timeout. We'll be back. Kansas City, Oklahoma State, and Memphis. Oklahoma State 21, Memphis 8. The Cowboys, Bob, 9 of 12 to start this game, 75%. They've made 6 straight shots from the floor. Memphis, oh yeah, they're struggling. They missed their last 4 shots. Turnovers also a problem here early.
No doubt about it, and the turnovers are forced turnovers because of Oklahoma State's aggressive defense. Also, the Cowboys 6 assists on their 9 baskets. Passing well, looking for one another. Everything is in close to the basket for them. There is Carney.
Guarded by Bobick, baseline jumper. Boy, what a stroke. Maybe that will get him started after that timeout.
Well, they isolated the side for him. They realized what you were talking about, that Carney hadn't had touches. And out of the timeout, Calipari doing a good job of getting a guy who was hot yesterday into the flow.
First touch came at the 10:45 mark. There's a turnover. Here comes Antonio Burks. Splits the defense, the swat. The putback wouldn't go. It's going to be Cowboy basketball.
Ivan
Wow.
McFarlin came from nowhere outside of your screen. Look at him. Takes off 1 step from the foul line above the square. What a great block. On the way up. No basket interference on that one. Clean block. We are seeing some things in the air. My goodness. Dunks by Graham, blocks by McFarlin. They got some electricity in their shoes or something today. Wow. They did not look like this in their last game to me.
They did not in that first half. Cowboys rebound the miss. Allen spinning, now backs it out. Under 10 minutes left in this opening half. Good start by Oklahoma State with an 11-point lead on Memphis. Lucas is back in. Bob, we did not know, but he was not at full strength on Friday, battling strep against Eastern Washington. Still able to put down 15 points. That shot batted away. It was touched, and a fresh clock for Oklahoma State.
You got to give Memphis credit right here. They are down 11, but they are very aggressive defensively, almost causing turnovers on the last 2 possessions. That's a clean shot off a great screen.
Lucas, a 2. 3 shots, 3 buckets, 6 points for John Lucas III out of Houston, Texas.
Tony Allen on Banks. Allen can defend everyone out on the floor, inside and outside.
Boy, Weatherspoon really fronting Antonio Burks. You see frustration, Bob, in the faces of the Memphis players. Burks makes some contact, and they whistle before the shot. Weatherspoon picks up the foul.
Well, when you have good team effort, nice screen here. Arthur Barclay does not step up, and when he does, it is way too late. That is an easy shot for John Lucas. Memphis is trying to do everything with the pass right now, and there's a lot of denial out there. I think that Antonio Burks needs to get some dribble penetration and create on his own. He's trying to be a distributor, but his team is struggling. He has the ability, physical and mental, to get into the paint and make something happen. 3-point shots are not available, and that is a huge part of the Memphis offense.
Terrence Crawford out for Oklahoma State. Joey Graham back in. Lopez in also for Memphis. Banks got caught underneath. Jump it. Possession arrow to Oklahoma State.
But we're seeing some aggression at both ends of the floor by both of these teams. Watch the white shirts come to help. And then, of course, Banks, right on the spot, gets a tie-up. Good play by Sean Banks.
Banks, baseline. Off the iron. There's a lid on that thing.
I'm telling you. Not at this end, though.
Allen lost his footing. Memphis basketball, 8:25 left, opening half.
Well, Tony Allen a little out of control on that particular play. Very uncharacteristic of his play and Oklahoma State in general. They are a 13-point lead because they're getting excellent shots.
Burks, I tell you, he put Weatherspoon to sleep. The slow dribble and then the explosion.
Well, I just mentioned how I think Burks needs to get more involved. I think he heard me. That's what they need to do off the dribble.
Timeout with 8:07 remaining. 23-12 Cowboys. .11 cushion for Oklahoma State. Just over 8 minutes left before the half.
Well, the point guard matchup between Lucas and Antonio Burks has been very, very good, and we anticipated it being that way. Burks has taken over in the last couple of minutes trying to get some dribble penetration. He has a size advantage on Lucas in height and weight. And I think Lucas is not a great defensive player. So when Memphis is struggling, Burks should take it on the dribble into the paint, create for himself or his partners. The passing game has not worked well for Memphis in this game. Oklahoma State very well schooled on defending.
A quick foul was whistled on DeJuan Irwin, who fouled out
In seven minutes
against South Carolina. Oh, nice spin move. Allen rejected from behind, pulls down the miss and a whistle. Boy, Oklahoma State, Bob, from our vantage point, much quicker than we saw 2 days ago.
I'll tell you, they are highly motivated, and maybe the close first half that Sutton's team had against Eastern Washington has got them motivated today.
Second foul on Irwin, and that puts Allen at the line. Makes the first. Follow the game on CBS Sports Line's Game Center and get more than just the game. Get play-by-play coverage as it happens without having to refresh the page. Check it out at CBSSportsLine.com.
Texas coach Rick Barnes said that no one has an answer for Allen. His strength and his ability and his pull-up game. They beat Texas 3 times. And of course, Texas advancing to the Atlanta bracket.
Allen 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Cowboys by 12.
Allen also has 3 assists in this game and is defending Carney, who had the big game yesterday.
Carney has only taken 1 shot and buried the jumper. Banks spinning, lost control. Watch out. Cowboys have numbers. They go to the deck. Look at Joey Graham. Now Lucas around and out the tip. Nope. Up and in.
Lucas gets off the deck and fires, and McFarlin all over that offensive rebound. The reason Carney has only taken 1 shot, Tony Allen is all over him. Not letting him get touches. When he does, right on top of him.
McFarlin, the top rebound man. 6.5 for the Cowboys. There's a loose ball, another turnover. Lucas, quick break. Graham, left hand, spun it in.
This looks like a 2 seed and maybe a 1 seed. Both ends.
Crowd is up, plenty of orange in the stands at Kemper.
They are doing everything right, Craig, and they're challenging that 3 as well.
Rice off the mark, rebound, pulled down by Graham. Now Lucas will walk it across midcourt. Up by 16. No weakness in the first half as Graham continues to pour it on. Joey Graham with 9 for Oklahoma State. Timeout, Memphis. (31-12) Oklahoma State putting on a basketball clinic.
No doubt about it. From the defensive side, challenging shots, missing and running the break. When the ball goes inside, they double team the post. On the pass out, they're in the right place to steal. Defending the 3, which was Eddie Sutton's biggest concern coming into this game, and balance at the offensive end. Can't play much better than they're playing right now.
And they have owned the paint. 16 points in the paint. Memphis hurting themselves with 7 turnovers.
Watch each guy who catches it. A white shirt all over him. Look at this.
Carney needs help. Irwin up top. Now Burks will handle it with 15 on the shot clock.
This is their advantage, though. Burks should take him to the paint. Pull up.
Turn around. Here comes Lucas.
They got numbers.
3-on-2. Lucas. Boy, hard collision.
Not a smart play by Lucas. Had the numbers, over-penetrated, paid the price for it.
Picks up his second foul and another timeout with 5:22 left before the half. All Cowboys. Cowboys shooting 65% from the floor. Look at the points in the paint, 16-6. All facets of the game dominated by Oklahoma State.
You want defensive fundamentals, you're going to see a guy getting around a screen. You're going to see a guy pressuring. You're going to see double teaming and splitting for steals. Take a look at this sequence. Excellent defense getting through the screen. Pressure the basketball. Double team the post. Force the turnover. Get in the lane. This led to a fast break. That is great, great defense.
Oklahoma State over the last 9 minutes and 48 seconds on a 22-5 run. Memphis started hot, 3 of 4. They are 2 of 12, make it 2 of 13.
And that was the closest look that they got to a decent shot.
Carney only his second shot this half, now 1 of 2.
I think we should emphasize that this is not ineptitude on the part of the Tigers. This is absolutely outstanding play on the part of Oklahoma State at both ends of the floor. Only problem, they got 7 turnovers.
Bobic spots for 3, high bounce off the rim. Carney has it. Here comes Memphis. Well, they need a bucket. Under 5 minutes left in this half.
Joey Graham and McFarlin, even though they're undersized, only 6'8" and 6'7", are physical and long, and they have a tenacity about them.
There's that double team on the low block. Irwin forced to kick it out, and the 3 is hit by Banks.
Well, that is the first great execution for a 3 in this game so far. Oddly enough, Oklahoma State double teams the post on everyone. Against Irwin, they don't need it. He's not an offensive threat.
Banks 3 of 8. He's knocked down a couple of 3-pointers. Graham left alone, now puts it on the floor. Big hop, and lost it out of bounds. Timeout. 31-15. 3:55 remaining before half. Coming up on Singular at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis get you updated on all the tournament news, plus a live look at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament and the Singular one-on-one Billy Packer Trivia Challenge. It's all coming up on Singular at the half. Let's check in with the third member of our team, courtside. Here's Scott Kaplan.
Craig, during the break, John Calipari told his guys, he said, look, we have to get this lead from 10, 12, somewhere in that range. He said, quit feeling sorry for yourselves, guys. Get out there and play. Let's try and cut this lead down and get back into this game. Back to you.
Well, they're not going to cut it down if Joey Graham keeps playing the way he's playing. This kid had 4 points and 2 rebounds and fouled out on Friday, and he has been spectacular. Hasn't missed a shot, has 12 points already. McFarlin's got 7 rebounds. Excellent, excellent play by the interior of Oklahoma State. And there's McFarlin.
Boy, put the big paws up and took it right away. Lucas will walk it across midcourt.
Craig, they seem to be in the right place at the right time defensively all the time. Memphis has only taken 6 threes. They average 24. They can't even get looks at the threes.
Graham, who's been hot, as you mentioned. 12 points, lost it. Bobic has it behind the arc. 8 on the shot clock, 3 minutes left before half.
This is the guy to go.
Now Lucas tries to turn on the Jets. He's deep, throws it away. Picked off in the lane by Irwin.
10 turnovers for Oklahoma State.
Rice, nice feet inside. Little jump hook, found its way down. Modibo Diarra from West Africa. Doesn't play a lot of minutes for Calipari, but he just got 2 big ones.
Well, as Scott Kaplan said, Calipari a little heated. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Both of his post players, he's got the 2 subs in right now.
Graham, boy,
what a night.
He has the stroke, 14 in the first half.
6 for 6. He is making up for his poor performance on Friday. Look at how closely guarded they are. Every time a blue shirt catches it, he's got white shirts around him.
Last touch by Memphis, and yet another turnover. Possession to Oklahoma State. Lucas is going to come out for the Cowboys, and back in is Weatherspoon, number 25. And it's a good move by Sutton because Lucas has the 2 fouls.
Exactly, and that's why he is out right now. No need for him to be in at the defensive end in the end of the first half. Pick up anything unnecessary. Bobic certainly a capable ball handler.
There's a steal. Burks Up and got it. Smart move. He let his body control and let Bobbitt come by. 6 points for Burks.
69 steals on the year. Burks leads his squad in that particular category. Allen trying to take over the ball handling.
Allen will back it out. Weatherspoon on the wing. Now Graham. Yep, I'll take it. And he got it. 3 for 3 from behind the arc.
Big time game for Graham. Earlier this year, had 36 against Nebraska, so he's used to scoring. Had 20 against Texas the first time, 21 at Texas.
He's on pace for 34 here. Still a minute left before half.
His rotation is beautiful, his balance on his shot. Look at this defense by Allen.
Boy, Carney tried to back in, lost it. Bobbitt, floater, Allen, lay it up and in. Boy, great teamwork. Allen with 5 for Oklahoma State. A 20-point runaway in his opening half.
Time for Memphis to regroup. They want to get to the locker room fast. What they can do about this great defense, I'm not sure. Look at Allen on Carney, sticking to him.
Carney held to just 2 points in this half. Remember, threw down 26, a career high in the opening round against South Carolina. Burks for 2, around and out. Bobbitt rebounds. Oklahoma State locking it up. Final seconds tick away. No! Wow! Oh, Graham caps it off at the buzzer. A 20-point half for Joey Graham.
Opportunity knocking. The Tigers fell asleep. And Oklahoma State's advantage. At the buzzer, a dunk. Gotta love it.
Let's go courtside and Scott Kaplan.
Coach, the defensive intensity was incredible here in the first half. Your team obviously learned their lesson from game 1 of this tournament.
Well, we played a lot better the first half this afternoon than we did against Eastern Washington. I thought our defense, because of the intensity, was just outstanding. And then we had a hot hand shooting the basketball. And when you shoot it as well as we did, you know, it camouflages a lot of shortcomings you might have.
Yeah, and you've chosen to go exclusively inside with the exception of the 3 long balls.
Well, you know, the only mistake I would say we made, we turned the ball over in transition at times, and we have a rule. You break, you run, you try to get down there. If you don't have anything, you pull it out and play a half-court game. So other than a few turnovers, I thought we played extremely well.
You did, Coach. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time. Back to you, Craig.
Oklahoma State 41, Memphis 19. Greg Gumbel will be coming at you after the break. And this is CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship. We'll continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Sprite, Allstate, and by Pontiac.
Dominating first half by Oklahoma State, 41-19. John Calipari told our Scott Kaplan, selfish, and he's never seen his club pushed around, Bob, as much as he saw the Tigers in the first half against Oklahoma State.
Well, the physical prowess of Oklahoma State very much in evidence on defense and in the paint rebounding. McFarlin and Joey Graham especially have been dominant in this game.
Absolutely perfect first half for Joey Graham. Scored 20 points in that opening 20 minutes of play.
Well, he is outscoring the entire Memphis team. He did it from the outside where he squared up perfectly 3 for 3, had some spectacular dunks, and also took the ball to the rack both in a post-up way and from the perimeter. This guy was absolutely perfect. Nice to see after on Friday he only had 4 points and fouled out in their opening round game with Eastern Washington.
Graham wants the ball to start this half. Contact and a whistle.
Graham is 6'7" and about 220, and he puts the ball on the floor. He's got a great looking stroke and a nice way about him on the floor. Intensity without overdoing it. Those are his numbers for the season and the first round.
75% shooter from the line. And a rare mistake in this game. Eddie Sutton, 68 years, still going strong, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, he's been around a long time and knows the ins and outs. Very good motivator and technician as well.
1 of 2 for Graham. Bob, first 5 minutes for Memphis. What must happen?
Well, they've got to be unselfish, which Calipari talked about, and also they got to take it strong to the basket.
Diarra off the bench to start this second half, mind you. Second bucket, 4 points.
That is a message. He scored in the first half, a seldom used post player. He's a little bit better than Arthur Barclay offensively, and they need points badly. John angry about his guys being selfish. I'm not sure they were selfish. They just had a tough time making passes to their teammates.
Lucas able to run around around Burks. And then Allen says, I'll take it from there.
What was so spectacular about that, he jumped, his body was one way, and he reached back to tip that ball in. Oh my goodness, what athleticism.
Carney.
Those who have argued that this is a 1-seed team certainly are proving that today.
Burks steps up, off-balance jumper. Bobbitt crashes the board. Here comes Lucas across midcourt. Allen behind the arc. Now spins baseline around Carney and is going to be whistled offensive.
John Lucas, quick crossover, and watch this. Allen, his body across the lane already. He reaches backwards to tip this ball in. That is explosion. Only 1 for 4 in the first half was Tony Allen, the leading scorer at 16 for this team.
Burks turns up the Jets a bit. Again, walk the ball. Did you notice across midcourt? You lull Oklahoma State to sleep. That's the second time and he's been able to pull that off and got the layup. 8 points for Antonio Burks and a timeout with 18:01 left here in Kansas City. You know, Bob, I know you are familiar with the kids' books. Where's Waldo?
Yes.
Where's Carney? Memphis fans want to know.
Well, yesterday they saw him big time. 26 points, spectacular dunks, 10 rebounds, block shots, 6 for 12 from three-point range. A career day for him. And the answer, where is he? Tony Allen is all over him. That's where he is.
So far, Carney 1 of 2, 1 rebound.
And you got to credit one of the better defensive players in the country, Tony Allen, for that lack of performance.
Boy, Graham wants the ball. Lucas knows it. Back out top now, swinging on that arc is Lucas. Took a hit from Rice, fires up the shot and hits. 4 buckets, 8 points for Lucas.
They came off the double team and gave him a clear look. Very heady play by John Lucas. All of these screens that Memphis is setting, trying to free people. Oklahoma State fighting through.
Rice with the floater, good look, rebounds the miss. Now Burks wants it, fakes the 3, pops the J, got it.
Bright spot right there. You would expect Antonio Burks to do some leadership things. Memphis trying to trap, create some turnovers. Oklahoma State had 10 in the first half. Allen decides to get it set in 5-on-5.
Antonio Burks, Iron Man, with the full 40 minutes against South Carolina in the opening round. 7 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, already with 10.
I'll tell you, that was great defensive effort by Burks right there on John Lucas.
Nice feed underneath from the bucket. Boy, they just move with the ball. Away from the ball, with the ball. McFarlin now. 6 points, 7 rebounds.
4th assist for Tony Allen. He has such strength and long arms. When he gets to the paint, he can shoot it, he can square it, he can pass it. Extremely dangerous when he's in the middle of the floor.
You know, the 5 transfers, their average of the starters are 21.8 years. Bobick tips the scale a bit as the jumper falls down for Anthony Rice. He'll be 25 in June, but this is a very experienced and a very mature Oklahoma State team.
Yes, but the only thing is that, you know, they're big and strong and older, like you're pointing out, but they haven't really played that much together. 3 of these guys are in their first year at Oklahoma State, and that's what amazes me so much.
But the age can make that transition easier.
Yes, it can, absolutely. And I think we're seeing that.
A hold on Burks. And the second on Antonio Burks at timeout. Oklahoma State up big on. Well, Memphis shooting only 44% from the floor. Oklahoma State a blistering 69%. Carney on the season, you see 13 points and change. First round game, career high 26. Today, Bob, 2.
Unbelievable. Tony Allen has done a fabulous defensive job on him in this game. You know how many rebounds Memphis had in the first half? 6. Because Oklahoma State shot 68%. There are only 7 misses.
Right now, Oklahoma State winning the boards 19-7.
You know, expanding on Tony Allen a little bit, he's doing a great job against Carney. Against Eastern Washington, the player of the year, Alvin Snow, he shut him down also in the first round game. So not only is this guy a great scorer, averaging 16 a game, he's a fabulous defender.
3rd foul whistled on DeJuan Irwin. And to the line goes McFarlin, 64% from the line. Left-hander got the first.
I like McFarlin's game, and you would love to play with a guy like this. He doesn't demand the ball, plays, works, gets it on the offensive boards, putbacks. They don't really go to him, and despite that, he's got great numbers. 58% from the field for the year.
He's coming off a double-double against Eastern Washington, 20 and 10. Banks. Boy, nothing falling right now for the Tigers.
Well, Bobick, a little pull down on Rice right there. One of the rare occasions where Eddie Sutton's guys are out of position on the boards.
Daniel Bobick, his 2nd foul. By the way, his dad, Ralph, played for Eddie Sutton at Creighton.
Wow. Runs in the family, huh? Sean Sutton, Eddie's son, of course, the assistant coach. Does a great job with this team.
Carney launches. Short. There's a pattern developing here. All the jumpers by Memphis, front of the iron.
Yeah, maybe they're tired, huh? I'll tell you what, they're being challenged at every step. They're not getting many clean shots at the basket. That takes away your rhythm, Craig. Now you start leaning back away from the defense. That causes you to hit front rim.
Patience by the Cowboys. 10 on the shot. Lucas running the point for Oklahoma State. It's picked up by Irwin. 3 on the shot. 2 on the shot. Battle for the rebound. McFarlin. Got it! Oh!
Typifies his game. The jumper looked like a brick, but the follow looked heavenly.
It's that type of shooting and that type of effort why the Cowboys are shooting 69% from the floor.
Oh, man, I am telling you, this is following your own shot. That's not what he does well. Great effort by 3 teammates to keep it alive, and McFarlin knows where rebounds comes off. He even got hit on that, strong enough to not let it bother him. Averages 12 points, 6 rebounds a game.
Around and out.
Front rim again, as you noted.
Quickly back down court. McFarlin trying to back in, got another bucket. How about 11 points, 8 rebounds?
How about blue collar personified? Also, as an undersized post play, the fact that he has left left-handed helps a great deal. A little unusual. Comes back over his left shoulder, the pump fake to get Irwin off his feet. Slides it right in there.
Well, Oklahoma State has doubled the score on Memphis. 54-27. Under 14 minutes left. Burks at the line, makes the first. And make sure you vote for your starting forwards on the Pontiac All-Time Tournament team. You can cast your ballot now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac. Antonio Burks with 11, looking for 12. Conference USA Player of the Year. He's got the dozen.
Well, full court pressure coming from the Tigers right here. They've got to use their athleticism to create some turnovers. Now, this is going to be a gamble because Oklahoma State can make them pay. They've got 2 point guards in the game right now in Lucas and Weatherspoon, so it's tough to press a team when they have 2 point guards in the game at the same time.
Jason Miller has checked in. McFarlin gets a breather. Lucas wants the long shot, missed it. Off the back of the iron, but Cowboys rebound.
Joey Graham kept that one alive, got it to his brother.
Now the Graham twins on the floor, transferring out of Central Florida. Contact underneath, and that should send Joey Graham, that is, to the free throw line.
The other thing about Graham is he has such great balance. When he takes the ball to the basket, he never gets out of control, uses his strength to get his momentum stopped, and then finds the right angle to the basket, whether it is a layup or a short jumper.
Around the country, 10-seed advances to the Sweet 16, 7th time in the last 8 years. What a run going on right now by Nevada. Duke makes the Sweet 16, 7 straight. 3 seeds are undefeated.
Well, in the St. Joe's and Wake have made it to the East Rutherford bracket so far.
Burks. And a timeout. Smart call by Diarra. Possession goes to Memphis and a timeout. 3:17 left. A long way to go for Memphis. City, let's go courtside. Once again, here's Scott Kaplan.
Craig, I was talking to John Lucas, the dad, before the game. He was telling a story about how he went to Memphis this past year and spoke to this Memphis basketball team. He told me that he was saying to the team the things that Coach Calipari couldn't say to the team. He was brutally honest. It propelled the team to a 3-game winning streak, but he wouldn't talk to Coach Calipari before today's game.
Conflict of interest, I would say.
I would say
with your
so.
son playing for one team.
Burks hit a 3 for Memphis. 54-32, under 13 minutes left. Weatherspoon had it stripped, picks it back up. Tony Allen now swings up top. 16 on the shot.
Coming into the same game, Craig, we talked about how Oklahoma State had to defend the 3, and they have done that marvelously well in this game.
Good defense. Burks trying to strip the ball away. Lucas is trapped and jump it. Possession arrow. Memphis.
When you are a small point guard like Lucas and you get trapped by big people, very difficult to get out of that situation. As John Lucas Sr. looks on, a great All-American at the University of Maryland. Had the opportunity to coach against John when I was coaching at Duke. He always gave everyone fits.
He was giving you fits on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Carney for 3. Short.
Well, Memphis making an effort on the offensive boards this half that was not there in the first half. The substitute post guys, Diarra and Irwin, really getting after it, trying to keep the ball alive.
Burks drives, hangs off the window, and got the drop. Well, right now, Burks is doing all the work for Memphis. Carney looking at his line. Bob, 1 of 5, 0 for 3 from behind the arc.
And you're right, Burks is the bright spark for this team. Senior, experienced, physically tough, really a great defender.
Tigers down 20. Nice passing
Look at
by
that
Oklahoma
patience,
State.
huh? Joey Graham didn't have the rhythm, decided to get it back out.
Bobick. Well, there's a, this is the spot that Simeon of Kansas fell. This seems to be a slick area on this floor. A couple of guys going down on that exchange. And Burks picks up the foul, his 3rd, and a timeout. Cowboys by 20. Well, Joey Graham, the offensive threat for Oklahoma State, 21. The defensive stopper, Bob, is Tony Allen.
Watch him play his man without the ball, sliding through screens and pressuring. Watch him play his man with the ball, off the dribble. Gets his body between him and the basket, creates the turnover, goes down, fills the lane, lays it up. His defense in the tournament has been spectacular. Alvin Snow, the player of the year, Eastern Washington, 2 points on 1 for 10. And taking over Kearney tonight, who had 26 the other day. Tony Allen, defensive spectacular playing. Sound and fundamental footwork, handwork.
Terrence Crawford, number 42, in for Eddie Sutton. Bobick swings it up top, around now to Allen. Weatherspoon on the wing.
They've gone to the high post offense right here. Guys cutting off the high post. Jason Miller up there trying to set screens for people.
Shot clock to 6. Weatherspoon. High off the window. Look at that. The follow. Crawford digging it out. And a shot clock violation.
And the reason it's a shot clock violation, Weatherspoon's shot did not touch the rim. Even though it was a shot, the definition is that it must touch the rim or the clock continues.
Memphis will have it with down by 20. Coming up on 11 minutes left.
Banks back in the game, likely guy that they would go to. Rice handling the point guard duties, giving Antonio Burks a little bit of a rest, which he rarely gets.
Banks looking for a cutter, coming over to help.
Well, look at that play right there. Kearney had an opportunity to get a shot, and he had to bobble the ball because Banks was so close to him over the screen. Little things mean a lot.
Rice hopping, skipping, got it. Anthony Rice, 4 points, 2 buckets this half. There's just no tempo for Memphis.
Oklahoma State taking them completely out of the game. A lot of subs right in right now. Allen, of course, and Weatherspoon in. Miller and Crawford. And that's why they're running this offense, to buy time where some of the guys rest.
Crawford picked up the foul as he bowled his way down the paint. That's his second.
Well, Lucas and McFarlin back in the game. Eddie Sutton trying to keep 3 starters in, rest 2 guys at a time so that they have enough energy for the stretch run. We're only 3/4 of the way through the game.
A Sweet 16 berth awaits the winner. On to East Rutherford. Substitutions. You'll get Antonio Burks back for Memphis. And for Oklahoma State, Joey Graham will come in.
Well, in the East Rutherford bracket, St. Joe, the number 1 seed, is going. Wake, the number 4 seed, is going. The question is whether the seeds will hold and whether Oklahoma State and Pitt, the 2 and 3 seeds, will get to New Jersey as well.
Banks fouled. Took a shot on the chin, I believe behind the arc, or was it 2? Yeah, it was a 3. Tony Allen picks up his second.
Breaking through and challenging on the perimeter, got him on the elbow. But also, you notice the technique of Tony Allen, had his left hand up to block the shot. That is a hand that is closer to a right-handed shooter.
John Banks scoreless this half and remains that. Well, Monday on an all-new Raymond, it's the discovery of a lifetime. Find out one of Ray's brother's biggest secrets. Everybody loves Raymond. Monday on CBS, America's most watched network. Banks a good free throw shooter, Bob, at 73%. He'll get another.
He has had a great freshman year. You mentioned he was the freshman of the year in Conference USA, and Burks was the player of the year in Conference USA. 5 teams from that league had 12-4 records. So first time in history of Conference USA, 5 teams tied for first. And this guy was in the middle of it for Memphis.
Banks fouled by attempting a 3. 1 of 2. He'll get another. 11 points for Banks.
Really has nice skill, but needs to put on a lot of strength and weight as his career develops. Full court pressure, looking to get a trap.
Allen got by Kearney.
Effective on the pressure. That's got to give a little juice to the Tigers right here. Burks is back in the game after sitting shortly. Eddie Sutton's team turning the ball over. Did not like that one at all. The familiar scowl by Coach Sutton, developed over years of coaching.
Under 10 minutes left. There's a steal.
What a playback right here.
McFarlin to Lucas for three. A two. Foot was on the line, two for John Lucas. He is in double figures with 10.
Credit McFarlin. Great steal, great control by the post player.
Rice goes baseline again. Great double team defense by Oklahoma State. And a timeout.
McFarlin again right on the spot. Lucas was beaten. McFarlin got there.
Oklahoma State shooting hot all day, and Bob still at 63%. You look at the timeouts left. Memphis has chewed them up. 2 left for the Cowboys. Graham leads the way in scoring with 21. He scored 20 of those 21 in the first half.
Think those two ladies like Bobick, number 20 for Oklahoma State? They look like they're having a good time.
Look like the Doublemint twins.
I'll tell you what. The BYU transfer doing a good job in this game, as he has all season. Burks is carrying Memphis.
Fires up the three. Irwin rebound. Puts it on the floor. Back up. Rattles it in.
Well, that's one way to get yourself going. Jack up shots from the perimeter. Send 4 blue jerseys to the offensive glass and make it a war on the boards. With 8:54 to go, that looks like the strategy for Memphis.
Cowboys lead trimmed to 16.
Starters back in. Nice double team, forces a timeout. And we have only 1 left for the Cowboys, and Memphis is done.
(56-40) Oklahoma State. What must be running through John Calipari's mind?
Well, I'll tell you what, as we saw him limp back over to the bench, he had some hip surgery earlier in the year. Going to probably have a little bit more after the season. But I think what he's thinking is, let's switch defense. They go to a little zone here, try to force some outside shots, but offensively they have to attack the glass.
Lucas, but it's rebounded by Joey Graham.
Speaking of attack the glass, Joey Graham and McFarlin have been yeomen in this game. Every miss, they're around it, and the versatility of Joey Graham right here goes outside.
Nice rebound by Anthony Rice. Here comes Burks. Speed, kicks to the corner. Carney wants it. Got it! Maybe a little run now by Memphis. Carney with only his 5th point. 2 buckets.
13 down. Calipari talked. We had to get it to 11 or 12 to get involved in the game.
And Bob, timeouts could play a factor. None remaining for Memphis. 1 for Oklahoma State.
Trapping has been effective. Banks hits Lucas on that one, though.
That's going to be 4 on the freshman. 4 fouls on Sean Banks. Timeout, Kemper Arena in Kansas City. Oklahoma State up by 13. And the last time that John Calipari and Eddie Sutton met in the NCAA tournament, you got to turn the clock back to 1995 East Regional Final with Calipari at the University of Massachusetts. And he was led by the big guy, Bryant Big Country Reeves, had 23 and 10. The Cowboys beat the Minutemen 68-54, and OSU went on to the Final Four where they lost to the eventual champion, UCLA Bruins.
And Bryant Reeves, the center. Modern day photo.
Then and now.
Yeah, right. He was big and he's bigger.
Bob, the next couple of 3 possessions loom large here.
No doubt about that. The zone defense right here employed by Calipari. Switching the rhythm, but Oklahoma State handles it well.
Bobick from the corner for 3.
Well schooled. The 2 things that they need to do offensively here is get shots up quickly and use their athleticism on the offensive boards. Can't worry a great deal about execution here.
Carney drives high on the glass. Bobick playing both ends, just hit the three from the corner, grabs the rebound.
You could hear the guys going to the boards on that one. 2 or 3 guys hit the rim on the offensive board. Trapping at this end would be what Memphis would need to do. Try to create some turnovers, pressure people to put the ball on the floor, create action. When Memphis gets into this 5-on-5, that is where they are the best. Terrific execution.
Shot clock, they work it to 10.
This is the guy you want at the end of a shot clock.
Allen lost it off his foot. Now Burks trying to recover. Picks it up for Memphis. Lucas on his tail. Off balance. And Bobick will be whistled, his third.
Great scramble for the ball. Allen tries to get it. Burks doing his Barry Sanders imitation here. Takes it strong. Bobick was not in front of him, only on the side. Looks like Burks got tripped on the way in as well.
64% from the line, around and out.
Boy, and that's when you need them. They need every one of these. Down 16. If he makes it, expect full court pressure and trapping in the backcourt.
Made the second. Burks now with 16 points in this game.
As great as Graham was in the first half at 20 points, only 1 point in this half for Joey.
Tony Allen holds, working against Carney. Now Bobick on the wing. Looks on the low block, Graham.
Memphis playing much better defense. Shot clock has run down beneath 10 the last couple of possessions. Oklahoma State has not gotten things good.
Graham took the lob from Lucas. Here comes Carney. Oklahoma State, nice job putting 3 men back defensively. Banks with 4 fouls, goes strong to the hole. The tip goes in.
Well, that's what I talked about with attacking the boards on any shot. Memphis has the athleticism to do it. And they are back in this game, no doubt about it.
Down 13, 5:24 left. Diarra got the tip, 6 points off the bench for the 6'11" senior from West Africa.
Oklahoma State looks very tentative right here. Last couple of possessions, the clock has run down. I'm not sure that it's intentional that it's running down. They haven't gotten a good shot the last 3 stops.
Graham feeds it underneath, and McFarlin says, thank you, I'll finish it.
And that's what they need. Those 2 guys have been very good in this game. Also, they take shots going at the basket. They could get fouled doing it.
Under 5 minutes left. Oklahoma State, the 2 seed. Memphis, number 7 in the East Rutherford bracket.
Oklahoma State 28-3. Spectacular record. Memphis 22-7.
Follow-away shot bounces out into Banks's hands, and he is fouled on the way. McFarlin is whistled.
Well, Memphis has successfully employed the strategy of shoot quick and attack the boards, and John Calipari knows that he's got the athletes to do that, and they are executing that game plan right now, and that is what's getting them back into the game.
Banks had 9 points in the first half, a couple of free throws here in the second half of play. Short on the first.
Led them in scoring this year, Craig, with 18 points and nearly 7 rebounds a game. An outstanding freshman.
Bob, so far he's 5 of 21 in these first 2-round games.
Not great numbers.
He was 2 of 10 against South Carolina in the opening round. In and out. Carney, though, climbs the ladder, fires from long range. Bobick trying to keep his dribble and then stumbled and fell.
Well, Rice fouled him on that one, gave him a little trip.
2 fouls on Rice. And let's go back from Kansas City to New York. Once again, here's Greg. Under 3 minutes left here in Kansas City. Oklahoma State making their way to East Rutherford. for the Sweet 16. Burks the air ball.
Oklahoma State defense in the first half was absolutely sensational. John Calipari's team deep in the hole, and they have fought their way back to 15.
Let's check out our CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Percentages from the floor, 60% for the Cowboys, 42 for Memphis. Get complete tournament coverage at CBSSportsLine.com. Less than 2.5 minutes here in Kansas City. And a whistle. And we've had plenty here. Anthony Rice picks up his third. Burks has 3, Rice has 3, and Sean Banks with 4 for Memphis.
Well, Memphis has been valiant in their comeback, but too much from Oklahoma State's defense and Joey Graham and Ivan McFarlin.
Ten for Bobick.
A lot of faces are going to be like that. There are 63 games in the NCAA tournament, and only one team's going to be joyous at the end.
Burks down the baseline, overshot the basket, rebound once again belongs to McFarlin. Lucas needs some help across the court to Bobick. He'll come across midcourt. 66-50 Oklahoma State.
Bobick can handle, but he doesn't have the foot speed to elude all of the defenders in pressure situations. Joey Graham helpful with ball handling, as is Allen.
Under 2 minutes. McFarlin, by the way, 13 points, 10 rebounds, his 21st career double-double. Fresh shot clock for the Cowboys, 1:41 left. And Oklahoma State fans clad in orange on their feet here at Kemper.
About to get their 29th victory of the season.
Here in Kansas City, it's been all Oklahoma State. 21 by Joey Graham, 13 by McFarlin. Daniel Bobick has thrown in 10 for the Cowboys. And their shooting today, Bob, spectacular. 70% at the half, and they've been in the 60 mark all game long.
Their execution at offense has been admirable, but their defense has been spectacular. Oklahoma State stifling the athleticism and the three-point shooting of Memphis, and that has been the story of the game. Big lead, 22 at half. Memphis has fought back, but it is not going to be enough.
The other part of the story is the man who just took the shot, Rodney Carney, has struggled. Only 7 as he came off a 26-point, 10 of 17 performance, a career high 2 days ago in the first round against South Carolina.
And you must credit Tony Allen's defense for that particular statistic. He was all over him today. Took away his confidence, didn't have any clean looks.
Nice passes, Lucas, the little guy, slid down the paint. He's got a dozen. Now the 3 falls for Burks. 22 for Antonio Burks, the senior from Memphis.
Well, Memphis knows one way to play, and that's hard.
Allen, a little playground going on right now.
That's right. Well, you got to punish the press. You can't just lay back.
High off the iron, Oklahoma State. How about that? Lucas throws it off the knee of Irwin. About the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game, Antonio Burks from Memphis, 21 points at 8 of 20 from the floor. Joey Graham really was a difference maker as Oklahoma State put distance between themselves and the Tigers in the first half with 20. He has 21 for the game.
Well, his first half was what really did it. He outscored Memphis in the first half 20-19. So that set the tone for the game, and that's why he's the Chevy player of the game.
Final seconds ticking down.
They're going to East Rutherford, the East Rutherford bracket. St. Joseph's, Wake Forest, Oklahoma State so far.
Eddie Sutton will advance to his 11th Sweet 16 and his 5th with Oklahoma State. The final will be 70-53, Oklahoma State. On to East Rutherford.
Well, this is what the bracket looks like. Oklahoma State advancing at the bottom of the bracket. The winner of Pittsburgh and Wisconsin later in Milwaukee. One of them will go, and they will join St. Joseph's and Wake Forest in New Jersey.
70-53, Oklahoma State from the Big 12, Sweet 16 bound. Here's Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Craig Bullerjack, thank you very much. The Cowboys from start to finish strong against Memphis, and they will play the winner of the upcoming Pittsburgh-Wisconsin game. Oklahoma State, you guys had said all along, a solid contender for a fourth and final #1 seed, and they looked good today.
Yeah, they certainly did. They got off to a terrific start shooting the basketball, but I really think the key for them was what they did defensively in shutting down Memphis. Give Memphis some credit. They did come back in the second half, but the hole was much too deep.
It was almost like Oklahoma State had that little speed bump in the first round against Eastern Washington. They came out right away with the purpose. They were really clicking on the offensive end, and everything just snowballed from there.
Not since the year 2000 has Oklahoma State reached the Sweet 16. They're back. Eddie Sutton back again. Oklahoma State a winner by a score of 70-53.